Hello everybody, it's your daily report with Angry Tim. A little change of view here. I'm at our local, it's one of our small airports out here. We have a lot of the small planes and helicopters flying in and out. Just missed a couple taking off earlier. We'll see if anyone comes in behind me here. Got more reports on store closings, bankruptcies today. This is coming from thestreet.com. It's been a difficult past several years in the retail industry. The 2020s began with the jarring shutdown of many stores as COVID-19 swept through the United States. Many places of business were forced to shutter, some against their will. COVID-19 accounted for some outsized effects in the retail and dining spaces specifically. At first, most people didn't want to be out and about, preoccupied with thoughts about social distancing. The prospect of dining or shopping in close quarters proved unpalatable. Not every retailer was fortunate enough to survive the early 2020s. Thousands closed up shop for good, unable to keep the lights on as foot traffic plummeted. Then as things began to reopen, that attitude shifted. Suddenly, a crushing influx of shoppers came back with roaring enthusiasm, but reduced capacities made operations and staying afloat difficult. Yeah, so it was really crazy. Right? Everything shut down during COVID. Everyone was just kind of stuck at home. Online shopping was booming, Amazon, Etsy, eBay. And then all of a sudden, when the economy started to open up again, everyone went, on vacations. They, went to the mall. They were buying new cars, looking for houses. People were moving. It just like this crazy boom started to happen. And then now we're in 2025. So here's what's going on. So as things began to reopen, that attitude shifted. Suddenly, a crushing influx of shoppers came back with roaring enthusiasm. The businesses with enough cash to float themselves for several long months without robust sales were likely much larger corporations. The smaller ones were left to fend for themselves. Plus, as interest rates rose, operating became increasingly more expensive. As such, the first half of the 2020s has seen an outsized number of closures and bankruptcies. Since interest rates have stayed abnormally high, borrowing money is now expensive for just about everyone in the United States, from everyday Americans to large corporations. Brick and mortar retailers, which require a lot of pricey overhead to operate, have been particularly hard hit. That means many of them can't afford to take on risks to scale and expand. Instead, they've been in survival mode for the past several years, and many have gone under as a result. Last year in 2024, about 500,000 businesses filed for bankruptcy. That's 14% more than the prior year. And new data by Coresight predicts 2025 could see yet more closures. It predicts 15,000 stores could close this year and places particular emphasis on more Chapter 11 bankruptcy filings, liquidations, and total overhauls. In early February, Liberated Brands, which manages retail operations for some of the top surf labels in the US, Canada, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So they're the company, Quicksilver, Billabong, mainly these surf shops. The owner filed for bankruptcy and they're shutting all of their stores. They say they have, between Billabong, Quicksilver, Volcom, and Roxy, 120 stores across the United States will be closing. Liberated Brands will also shutter its international office and has laid off 1,400 employees. Todd Himmel blamed the company's bankruptcy on the emergence of fast fashion brands, high interest rates, and inflation. He says the average consumer has shifted their spending away from discretionary products such as those offered by Liberated. Himmel said in a court filing, consumers can cheaply, quickly, and easily order low-quality clothing garments from fast fashion powerhouses and have such goods delivered within days, he said. The individual brands, favorites of the surf and skate set, have been sold to other retailers, including Dick's Sporting Goods, PacSun, and Kohl's, they said. Liberated experienced boom times in 2020 and 2021 when it doubled its retail locations, expanding to 140 stores from 67. That was probably their big mistake. In 2020 and in 2021, they doubled down on their locations from 67 to 140. And then what happened? Inflation, right? Rent's gone up, insurance gone up, wages, the price of goods, everything's gone up in price. People are getting strapped for cash, and that killed them. That's called getting too greedy. If they had just kept their original 67 stores, they probably would be, probably not bankrupt, but they'll probably be fine. They say supply chain issues and inflation began to take a toll on the company as consumers watching their spending opted for budget brands. Liberated said in a statement that it worked tirelessly over the last year to propel these iconic brands forward, but a volatile global economy, consumer spending changes amid a rising cost of living and inflationary pressures have all taken a heavy toll. So if you live in a surf area, again, I'm from Hawaii, these brands are everywhere. They're in every surf shop. I know they make snow gear. They make gear for people who like water ski, jet ski, and skateboard. So yeah, it's sad to see them go, but hopefully the brands will carry on. It sounds like Dick's Sporting Goods, PacSun, and Kohl's will be taking over, I guess, some of the more famous lines of clothing. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know what also you want to hear about. I'm trying to pick up all the latest news for you and keep it quick and concise. But that's all I got for you today. I might try to make another few more videos out here because I like to see some of these planes and helicopters come in today. That's all I got for right now. Your friend, Angry Tim.